Oh, boy, hey guys. Thanks for coming in. A lot of you guys know me from Mark Stow as one of the co-founders. I've also recently joined co-investing. So co-investing is an AI fund here that is regulated by the DFSA. Today's going to be more about the portfolio companies we have here. So there's Hero, there's Apta. I was going to say Sui, but if that was true, then I wouldn't be here. So be on an island somewhere. So right now, Sui is going to be Sui Hub rather. It's going to be talking about what they're doing in the regions. We've got Hashan from Sui Hub and Ghaf Capital. So it's like a joint venture. So yeah, Hashan, please come through and talk to us about what you're up to.
First of all, hi, Thea, and I'm Bernda for having me. Uh, Pleasure, Peter, Desert, to be all looking forward to all conversations. I'm going to give a brief overview about GAF and how the evolution started, and then I'll enter about how Sui is entering the region currently. There's a GAF evolution. So in 2019, we opened the first ever venture capital fund to invest into Web3 locally managed, right? And the idea is that we wanted Dubai to become the hub of the world. So we opened the first venture capital. And then in 2019, and during that time, we were supporting many projects such as Bybit, Binance, enter the region, right? And during that time, during that support, we were helping with licensing, with go to market strategy, so on and so forth. We realized that there was a gap in the region with professional advisory. And that's what brought us to our second entity, which is Gaf Labs. Gaf Labs was opened in 2023. The main focus was to be an advisory and consultancy firm, boutique consultancy firm that takes on no more than 2, 3 projects per year. We take them on from A to Z. We support them with business development, go to market, licensing, whatever is needed, right? Including engineering support. And the third entity is Ghaf Studios. I'll elaborate about it in a bit. So, in Ghaf Studios, I would like to elaborate who we are. We are our mission is to create a venture studio and an accelerator, one of a kind. We want 2, 3 unicorns to come out of it within the first year. We have a very long strategy for it, and I'll elaborate about it in a bit. Sui Hub is actually a joint venture between Gaf Labs and Sui Foundation. And the main point of Sui Hub is to be builders for anyone around the world to join our studio. I'll explain about the way we work. We work in a hybrid vertical system, right? And there's three different verticals to it. One is we have a 6,000 square foot studio where I like to say founders meet founders. That's kind of my slogan. And by that, I mean we have the whole GAF entity in the studio, which is dedicated office. And then we have the SUI engineers that were moved to Dubai, and the founder of SUI, Dr. Kostas, who also moved to Dubai. And the reason we have all of these is for a direct support. So whether we want to support you or not, it is not our choice. You can just knock on our door. We have 3 offices in the studio, and the rest of it is for any of our projects or partners that would like to work there. Of course, free of charge. Our second vertical is our ecosystem. We have a very large ecosystem of exchanges, of market makers, cloud service providers, and much more. And the reason we have this ecosystem is in order to support all of our projects. We want to ensure that no matter what project comes to us, we are able to support you from A to Z. And that's the point of our ecosystem partners. It is a win-win for us, and all we care about is long-term fruitful relationships, nothing short-term, right? And then our third vertical is our accelerator program, which we currently launched the first cohort. We will have around 2, 3 cohorts per year. And I'll elaborate a bit more about our accelerator program and how it works. But first, I'm going to give you our 10-year plan. So in GAF and SUI, we like to have a strategy. We like to have a path. And once this path is given, our employees are trusted to work within this path. This is just a short introduction to our tenure. We want to have 35 companies that are currently in the studio working with our support. And we want to create 2, 3 unicorns out of them and exits. And that is a quick thing. And then there's robust investment within our ecosystem. This is just a brief part of our ecosystem partners, and this is where we put our pride. The point of as I will reaffirm that the reason we have all these ecosystem partners is to be able to support any project that comes our way, and we utilize the top of the top in order to ensure that you are getting the best outcome. This is just an overview of our accelerator program and how it works. So in the first cohort, we are four partners: Ghaf Group, Sui Foundation, Brink, and CoinList. Over here, I'll just explain to you briefly. Brink is mainly part of many accelerators. One of their huge strengths is mentorship, go-to-market strategy, marketing, etc. CoinList is one of the most powerful listing companies, right? Um, most of the companies that are listed on CoinList get totally sold out. So we wanted to make sure that we have the strongest partners. Sui Foundation technical support is out of this world. It's like Facebook and Apple created a chain, and that's actually how it is. The engineers were actually under Mark Zuckerberg. The lead cryptographer was Dr. Kostas. And Gap Studios is going to make sure that everything is operated correctly, and we are kind of from locally based in this region, so we have a very strong go-to-market strategy and plan. And then this is one of our huge initiatives that we did for Sui Foundation. I'm actually the program manager for this. What we did over here is created the first ever blockchain academy. We have a full course during spring, during fall, and the point of this course is like Microsoft theory, right? Microsoft created Excel, IBM, so on, to learn it in order to learn their product, and that's how they grew. Sui has a new language. It's called Move language. So what we do is, we are doing a 30-year investment, and we're investing into the future. So we've taught them 70% about blockchain, 30% about fintech, and a lot of go-to-market strategy. Over here, you can see Dr. Kostas and Greg. We take it very informally. We want to make sure that the students' interests stay. This is the university. This is our thing. We actually did a lot of workshops. We taught them about smart contracts, about the essentials that they need to know for trading without financial advice. We've brought many industry leaders, esteemed speakers, to be guest speakers at the lecture, and yeah. Now, as I mentioned, we are very strategic in what we do. So Gap Studios has been operating for about 3 to 5 months. Around 5 months. What we did the first 100 days is we are laying the groundwork. We found all of our ecosystem partners. We signed our MOUs. We did all of the strategy planning and all of that. The second part of it is we don't want to just brand our partners. Every single MOU sign, we want to have a strategy on how we're going to utilize it in the future, right? Because this is not just a Web3 typical where we sign an MOU and then it's gone. Every single one has a plan in the future on how it's to be utilized and what strengths is going to come out for it for both us, the project, and the partner himself. And then, as you can see, Q4, Q1, Q2, we have certain targets that we would like to meet, and that's our goal. Now, we're doing a regional expansion. So I'm not going to tell you which regions, but I'm guessing you can guess from over here. We focus on, whatever. We focus on Saudi, we're focusing on Turkey, we're focusing on India, we're focusing on Dubai, and many more. We want to be we want to be the global chain. We want to be a global hub for this region. And over here, I'm just going to give you a code. It's actually the second time we ever released this. This is for our accelerator program for whoever would like to apply. There's a lot of cameras. Take pictures of me as well, please. Thank God someone laughed. Okay. Yeah. So this is the accelerator program, and this is the end of my presentation. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for investing.
Okay, thank you, Hashim. So next up, we've got Dr. Sharom from Apta. So that's one of our, portfolio companies here at Norwood Investing.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Just before we start, I'm kind of interested. Who here is kind of more interested in the AI side of things? Can you put your hands up? Okay, roughly half the audience. Who is more interested in the kind of the Web3 applications of AI? Okay, actually, so I think everyone put their hands up. So there's no one who's here for the free food and the free cigar. Okay, you. Okay, good. And you. Okay, so just two of them. So good, a very engaged audience. So hopefully today I can kind of cater to everyone in the audience today. So a little about me. I'm the CEO of Apta AI. We're a spin out from the University of Cambridge, and we're an AI spin out. So we're an AI first company. What we do is we generate conversational AI platforms that don't just predict the next word. These are AI platforms that are capable of doing advanced reasoning, and they can actually execute actions. All this means is we get much more robust and deeper insights from our data, and we can actually do a lot more workflows than large language models. So that's a bit about our company, Apta. And excitingly today, for this Web3 angle, we've partnered with a company called Hero. And with Hero, we're trying to generate a conversational AI specifically for crypto. Our long-term vision is for this to be the next Google search, the next Perplexity of Web3, the single entry point into Web3 where you can navigate all of your intents. But initially, we understand that a lot of crypto is about trading. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to make a conversational assistant that can give you education, information, and research and democratize that for the mass market. So that's a little bit of an introduction. And I want to just quickly cover what I want to talk through today. So I want to cover 4 things. First, I want to give you a very, very brief history into large language models. A lot of people talk about them. It's very essential to know what they are and how they've evolved. That first step will provide us the perfect background to look into why large language models, despite their hype, are just not enough, and why we need something else called agentic flow. In the third section, I'll explain to you why agentic flow, as we know it in the mass market, such as companies, from companies like OpenAI, is simply not enough for specialized niches like crypto. And then finally, I'm going to explain to you what we as Apta are doing to solve this problem and how we're applying it in Web3 with Hero. So before I go any further, I think a lot of people talk about AI now. It's a very, very popular topic. It definitely wasn't very popular when I started my PhD. So you're probably wondering, what do we know? Why should you listen to us? And why do we think agentic flow is the next big thing? So I've been very fortunate that I'm part of a company where amongst some of the greatest minds in conversational AI. So my 3 co-founders, Vatsal, Aidan, and Vyas, have all done their PhDs in the Machine Intelligence Lab at the University of Cambridge. It's one of the most renowned institutes globally for cutting-edge AI research. Now, we all look fairly young. I'm not saying we look very, very young, but we've all been in the field for 5 years. And just to give you some perspective, this conversational NLP field is only really 7 years old. So despite our low chronological age, we're actually quite old in this industry. And collectively as a team, we've published over 30 papers in top-tier AI journals and have amassed over 1,000 citations. So from an academic standpoint, we truly understand the technology. A bit about background about me as well. I come from a more vertical-focused AI background. I did my PhD in Cambridge in computational biology, applying machine learning and AI to the biotech industry. And then I joined McKinsey in the early days of generative AI consulting. So I really understand this from a business setting as well. And actually, a lot of the problems that we're going to talk about today are inspired by a company that we started before Apta, which was called Cambridge AI Studios. And this was a consultancy that worked with a broad range of players in the space. And actually, one of those clients led to Apta being formed. So we worked with a range of companies in the space. Some of them were AI native companies. Sambanova Systems, they were the highest valued AI startup before Elon Musk beat them to it. Chai Research. We also work with some institutions that are looking to adopt AI, like the NHS and the Saudi Arabia Council of Health Insurance. And then finally, from a different side, we worked with a leading investor in Europe, Dawn Capital, who have a $700 million generative AI fund. And we did the due diligence on their investments. So we truly understand how businesses are trying to develop AI, how they're trying to adopt AI, and also what investors are seeing on the horizon. I want to share a lot of those insights with you today. So let's go into the first part of the agenda, which was a very, very short background into what LLMs are, where they started, and how they've progressed. So everything really kicked off in 2017 when Google released the transformer architecture. And basically what that meant is you can now train AI models on a vastly greater amount of data. And what the first people did is they took text data, text from the internet, and essentially trained these models to predict the next word. So they took sentences, masked the last word, and then asked the model to predict the next word. And the key thing I want you to take away from all of this is that the first LLMs, such as BERT, Roberta, GPT-3, they had a very good grasp of English language, and that was it. They were very good at communicating in language. But as you can see, these models came out as early as 2018, and no one cared or no one knew about them. And what really changed that was a company that all of us know, OpenAI, and they did something different with these LLMs. So they came in 2022. They took these foundational large language models that were very good at predicting the next word, and then they took them and trained them to do specific tasks. So they took the text and said, translate this to a different language, or summarize, or write a poem, all the things that you know that ChatGPT can do. This is called instruction fine-tuning. And basically what emerged out of this was models that not only knew language very well, but could actually do useful tasks downstream of that. And that's essentially what large language models are. So since then, we've seen a barrage of companies come out and release more and more instruction fine-tuned large language models. They're the exact same thing. They're all trained on text data from the internet, and they're trained to do specific tasks. So I guess we all know how useful LLMs are, but now I want to explain to you actually why they're not the be-all and end-all, why they're still missing a lot. And I think a simple metaphor to explain this is we're trying to use large language models to metaphorically screw a nail with a hammer. It's just the wrong tool to do the task that we expect them to do. And there's two main reasons why. So the first is that large language models are not designed to handle data types beyond text. All they're good at is language and text. So think of all the data that's useful for workflows or useful in companies or any application that's stored in large databases. So much company data is stored in enterprise DBs, numerical data, charts and diagrams, images and videos. Large language models aren't designed to handle these out of the box, and they're missing out on all this important data type. Now, there's a lot of work looking to improve the capabilities of the models to handle these data types. But even if that's solved, there's a second, much bigger problem. And that is that these models do not reason, and they can't actually do any execution of tasks. And I think the best way to kind of explain this is to give you an example. But what it means is large language models by themselves are not unlocking the full potential to increase efficiencies of businesses or reduce costs or improve decision-making because they just don't handle all these data types and they don't reason and execute downstream tasks. So let me give you a better example now to demonstrate the second big problem. So let's take this question here. What is the weather today? Now, on the surface, this sounds like a very, very simple question, but even this requires reasoning. So what a large language model will do is it will basically look at words in the vocabulary, microphone, blazer, carpet, not very likely to follow this sentence. But words like cloudy, sunny, rainy, they all have high probabilities. And these models will just pick one of those words at random. There's no reasoning to it. So that's not a robust way to answer questions, especially when they get more and more complicated. Unfortunately, the field has realized this problem, and they've proposed this new architecture, which is called Agentic Flow. So in Agentic Flow, the LLM is just one small piece of the puzzle. It's just a communicator. It's just the ears and the mouth of the system. But actually, the cognitive work is not done by an LLM. It's being done by agents. These are specific models. It could be software engineering, deep learning models, machine learning models. They're very designed to particular data types that aren't text, and they're deterministic. They don't just predict things. They have a fixed input-output relationship. So let's look at the exact same example now. So in Agentic Flow, we ask the same question, where's the weather today? And we have the LLM as the communicator. It's listening to our question. It's trying to work out what the question means, leveraging its ability to understand language. It then breaks that question down into reasoning steps. So if I want to tell you what the weather is today, I need your location right now, and I need the live weather in that location. And that's it. The LLM doesn't do any more. It passes each of those tasks down to specific agents that are designed to do each step. So the first agent will look at your IP address potentially and identify your location. Okay, we're in Dubai. The second agent will then take that output and then look through a live database of weather and tell you what the corresponding weather is in Dubai. Then you can see the second agent's actually output the answer, but it's not in the most intuitive format. So what we do in the last step of agentic flow is we take this and pass it back to the LLM, which then speaks us out in a very nice conversational output. The weather in Dubai today is sunny with clear skies and a max temperature of 31 degrees. So that's what agentic flow is. And excitingly, we're beginning to see it now being used in some of the most widely used models like GPT-4o by ChatGPT. So I think in the next section, where I want to talk about now, we've talked about what LLMs are, why they're not good enough. We've talked about why agentic flow is a much more robust and accurate way to do things. Now I want to explain to you why agentic flow in a generalist setting, such as companies such as OpenAI, is not good enough for very specific use cases like crypto. So models like ChatGPT, they offer a suite of what I call generalist agents, right? Off the shelf. So one of these agents that they offer 4, is a web search agent, the ability to answer questions by just searching the web. The second can generate code using a Python code. The third, you can upload a file and read it. And the final one is you can analyze images. Now, these agents are very good for a very broad set of use cases, right? But they suffer when you want to go very deep and do very complex tasks in a particular industry. And I think the best way to do this is to give you an example again. So let's imagine that I've got a question. I'm a trader at a bank, and I want to tell my equity research team, what are the attributes of US stocks that perform best in August 2024, right? Now, this question can't be asked by these generalist agents. Like, a web search agent isn't going to be able to answer this unless someone's published this exact question on the web, or a Python code agent, a file upload agent, an image analysis agent. They're just not adapted for this particular task. So that's the first problem. We need a very specific model to do this task. We probably need some form of explainable machine learning model like a decision tree to be able to find the stocks, the attributes of these stocks that performed best. So that's the first problem, a lack of specialized agents for your specific task. But then the second problem is that to power these agents, you need specific data streams. So to answer this question, I need all the time series information, so all the price of US stocks in August, and I need all their metadata. And models like ChatGPT don't have that. They're just plugged into the internet. So let's imagine a utopia. Now ChatGPT has every specific specialized agent for every industry. It has all the data it requires for all those agents. The third big problem is latency. ChatGPT is reactive. You type a question in and the computation starts. But while that's okay for very simple things like fetching something from the web, it becomes very problematic when you want to do a very complex workflow. So latency is a big problem. So how do we solve this? So this is what Apta does. Apta builds its own agentic flow architecture, which solves these problems. And at a very high level, what we do is we are not like ChatGPT. We don't focus on catering to every specific use case. We focus bottom up. We focus on small verticals, small niches, deeply understand the use cases in those niches. And then the first thing we do is we build specific agents for that niche that cover all the functionalities that you need, and we power them with the tailored data streams. Secondly, we then orchestrate these agents. So we take the text in, we decide which agent needs to be orchestrated in the right order. And then finally, we are preemptive. We're not reactive. We preempt what users are going to ask for our systems and compute those complex steps in advance. So when there's a complex workflow, we can deliver those last steps very quickly with very low latency. So that's what we do at Apta, and that's kind of the end now of the AI-focused section. I'm now going to move on to the Web3. So let me explain to you some of the work we're doing in collaboration with Hero. They've got their stash on the side. They're also sponsoring the event with co-investing. So like I said at the start of the talk, we're building an AI co-pilot to really democratize information, education, and research for the mass market. Right now, information is spread all over the place, and research is really only available to those who can afford expensive subscriptions or have analysts on their team. And we want to change that. So this is the architecture that we have. It's the exact same agentic flow architecture. And we've built a range of those agents that are designed to do very specific tasks in the crypto world. Now, rather than just talking you through this schema, I think it's best to actually give you a demonstration of what these agents are and what they can do. And also at the end of this talk, I'll be in the corner there and you can have a look at a live demonstration of the product as well. So the first demonstration I'm going to give you is looking at our live market expert, which has access to all crypto prices and their live actions, as well as our analytics and investment signals. So let me show you an example of that now. So this is the Hero browser, which you'll hear about in the next talk. And actually this AI is already live within the browser. So let's imagine we have a user here. They're reading about some news articles about crypto. They've got their Twitch on the side. And they really want to start buying undervalued crypto coins. So they're asking a question to our system. Which coins are 90% down since their all-time high and have maintained a market cap of at least 500 million? They don't want a volatile call. They want to stay in a pretty safe coin. And then for each coin, they're trying to calculate now the price change since the election. Their strategy is, I'm going to find a big coin that's undervalued and hasn't increased much since the election. And as we can see, the system is very low latency, doing that complex workflow and delivering all the coins that meet that criteria. So Filecoin is one of those coins. We have the price charts as well. And then I can ask the system a more advanced question on technical analysis. So I can ask, is it a good time to buy Filecoin right now based on technical analysis? And a separate agent right now is running all the quantitative indicators and analysis on that token. And actually it's told us it's not a very good time to buy it right now because a range of indicators are not very positive. And we can see all the graphs that were generated as well. So that's just an example of our live market analysis and technical analysis agent. Now I'm going to show you a completely different user profile and a completely different set of functionalities. So market information is just one piece of the puzzle in crypto. Another really big thing is on-chain, so what's going on the blockchain. And secondly, what media and social sentiment is. So let's show you a workflow with that example now. So here's a different user on the Hero browser. They're a degen user. They like meme coins, so they're on Deck Screener right now. And what they're doing is they've looked for this coin, SBX 6900, a very large meme coin. And they're looking into the top holders, people who've been very successful. They're holding a lot of this coin. They're taking their contract address. And what they're doing now is they want to do some on-chain signals. Rather than doing something themselves, the best way is to copy successful people. So they're asking, which tokens has this very successful wallet bought, held, and bought more of in the last week? They want to copy them. And what our system is doing is now going on-chain, searching through that wallet, and telling you exactly what tokens they've bought, held, and kept buying. So if I was them, I would just buy more just a chill mog because this whale has done the same. I now have my Telegram on the side and a lot of people talking about pudgy penguins. Now we have live access to crypto-specific media news. And I can ask, what is the recent news about pudgy penguins? Why is everyone in my Telegram talking about it? And we can see pretty rapidly it's telling us that it's beat Bored Apes. It's about to release a token, and that's why there's so much hype. And every article that's referenced is completely transparent. You can click on it and read the article for yourself. We also have a specific news tab. You can now, for every token, find a curated newsfeed updated every single day with all the articles and also how the sentiment correlates with the price as well, just to give you that extra bit of alpha and save you time scrolling through loads and loads of different articles. So the final thing that this person is doing is they want to find an influencer to follow, but someone who speaks Arabic. So showing you now how this tool is bigger than just a crypto assistant, I'm telling you how it's beginning to merge into a search engine in crypto. And we can see it's telling you all the Telegram channels on crypto with the most followers that speak in Arabic. And there you go, you can go and follow those influencers as well. So that's a quick demonstration of some of the agents, not all of them, and also a small subset of what each agent is capable of doing. And like I said, at the end, we're very keen to show you more of what the system can do. So now I want to give you a quick snippet of what we're looking forward to release very, very soon. So I've shown you market, I've shown you on-chain, I've shown you social sentiment. Another really big thing in this industry is influencers, key opinion leaders. Often what they say can really push the market. So we want to kind of make the space safer for everyone. Right now, you shouldn't just follow an influencer blind-heartedly. You should actually have some data and analytics to back that decision. And that's what we're building exactly. So now you'll soon be able to ask, this particular influencer is telling me to buy this coin, what is their track record? And what our system will do is we'll trawl all their calls on X, on Telegram, on YouTube, and use the market information to tell you how right they were. This particular influencer is only right 70% of the time. But we want to get more granular as well. When a particular influencer calls a coin, how long after they call the coin did the price go up before crashing? So you can really be sophisticated with your trading. So like I said, this product is in a beta version. It's available to use through the browser. Please scan this QR code if you want to get early access to the product. And we'll also be doing a demo as well later as well. So I'll leave that on there, and that's the end of my talk. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll plug out my Telegram as well.
Right. So yeah, thanks for that. Now we've got James from Hero, the CEO of Hero. Bear with him. He's just come from San Francisco. So it's a 12-hour time difference for him. So
it's my first time in Dubai. It's an amazing place. Very excited. I get to work for a company that's based here. Gotta get my glasses on to see. So I've been in the tech industry for quite a while. Graduate of Princeton and Columbia, and ended up working at first as a journalist in tech, and then migrating over to kind of the early stage of startups. I love that kind of beginning phase, the 0 to 1, and got to work with a lot of amazing companies that dovetail with the product that Hero's launching in the browser. Worked for a while at the Brave browser, which was one of the first token-backed browser. Some people might say it could have been the first Web3 browser, but they never really focused on that. I think when I first was approached by Hero, the thought occurs to you, what does the world need another browser? But the more you think about it is, Web3 and AI is really changing the way we relate to almost everything on the internet. And Hero has the opportunity to kind of be the first browser that really captures both those elements, the AI, along with designing it to be a product engineered from the ground up for a Web3 audience. So we really have kind of three simple goals initially, and the first is really to create this browser that's really designed for this new world that we've entered, that kind of combines the democratization type aspects of many of the Web3 projects with AI, which is a new tool to help us increase our productivity and give us a better way of relating to all the data out there as a way of managing, particularly in the crypto space. There's just so much misinformation, a very chaotic situation, and AI can kind of help us to make sense of that. And again, a browser is your first entry point to engaging with the web or pretty much any digital product out there. So it's a really great opportunity to build an ecosystem. And we did that when I was at Brave in the privacy space. And our hope with the Hero browsers, we can really bring in a lot of partnerships. So, one of the reasons I'm here tonight is I'm hoping maybe we can meet some people who can help become part of that ecosystem. And then again, we're part of our mission is to build this product for the crypto community, and we're going to be able to give them something back when they help us to make the product successful and help us share it with their friends and family. So we're going to have a rewards-based system. We're going to be launching a token that will enable people, both larger partners as well as individual users of the browser, to share in our success by initially earning pre-token rewards, but we hope to allow people to exchange those rewards for actual tokens once we launch that. So Sharon did a great job kind of introducing the AI portion of the browser and how it integrates. But what we're hoping, and I think he kind of captured that in his demonstration, we're hoping this can be a dashboard for any type of trader, whether you're a degen or just a newbie. You can come in here and kind of, master what can be a very, complex and frustrating world with, so many different, coins being launched every day. So the idea here is you can, have your social tools on your left and your AI on the right, helping you to make sense of this world. And in the middle, a DEX or SEX or some other tool that's helping you to make your trades. And then layering on top of that, so we have, again, it's going to be a complete Web3 experience. So not only do we have the, the AI search, we're going to the built-in wallet. So everything is going to be just in one place for you. And then we're going to have, DApp market and DApp partners, and other ways, to kind of bring the entire Web3 universe into this one tool that you can use. And initially, we're going to kind of follow the money or follow the crypto. So our initial audience is going to be in those countries. These are the top 20 countries where with the highest crypto assets and highest crypto adoption. Many countries in the world, many developing nations or tier 3 countries have very large percentages of their citizenry adopting crypto. So it's 35-40% in countries like Indonesia and Argentina, Turkey. So we're going to really kind of focus in on trying to get some critical mass in those countries, and help people migrate away from maybe the browser that you're using into something that's going to make you a better, more effective crypto trader, help kind of make sense of the chaos, and really reduce your risk, because we're going to be able to take a lot of information that would maybe take you days or weeks to pour through. We can distill that very quickly in a few seconds and give you access to information to help you make better trades and mitigate your risk. And again, just pretty much any again, because we're a browser, kind of any partner out there in the Web3 space can become a partner. We're hoping to do a lot of exchanges so we can do cross-marketing and cross-promotion. Again, we can leverage our pre-token rewards initially, and then eventually the token, when we launch it, the hero token, to help reward people for helping us to build a strong global audience. So we're launching this week, actually, our pre-token rewards program on a platform called Zeely. And again, there's a few million people on this. We're initially offering a token pool of worth about $1 million, where we can again reward the users that are helping us be sort of the initial evangelists for this new way of approaching your browsing and trading experience. So if anyone has any questions or wants to be a partner, please find me when we're out enjoying the food. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, thank you guys. There is tacos outside. There's a cigar collection as well in case you guys want to smoke and feel like it's the bull run. So yeah, thank you for coming and enjoy.